Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 22nd of February, 2023. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 finished the day down 0.3% to 7,315 points. It's a very, very busy day for earnings. The banks were mixed, with Commonwealth Bank off 2.3%, while ANZ was up 1.3%. Origin Energy was the biggest gainer, more on that shortly, while A2 Milk Company also did well. Domino's was the worst. News Corp was down nearly 9% after saying it won't be selling its US digital real estate business. There were some big moves after company announcements. Gold Digger St Barbara was off 11%. ML Payments also fell, down 8% after disappointing investors with its results. And the Star Entertainment Group went into a trading halt before a board meeting to decide on the casino group's future amid speculation that it wants to raise $500 million. Story number 2, in results land. Woolies delivered a strong half year, so too Santos. It outlined a very strong core profit of $3.6 billion for 2022. That's the full year, and announced a big jump in its dividend. The group's share price jumped 3.4% to $7.04 following the announcement, which came on the back of soaring commodity prices thanks to a crunch in supply after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now, remember last week we talked about the big 5 global oil and gas companies making $200 billion during the December quarter? Well, this is part of the same story. Chief Executive Kevin Gallagher, who has to tread the line between producing carbon-intensive raw materials for energy and the green transition, said demand remains strong both in Australia and internationally. He also highlighted the need to support Santos for energy security and as the economy switches from high-emitting fuels. Story number 3, Rio Tinto has joined BHP and Fortescue, cutting its dividend after full-year profits fell by 38% to $13.3 billion. It's less than last year's bumper dividend, though it's still better than analysts had expected. A 26% fall in received iron ore prices over the year was pretty much the main reason Rio's profit declined, although inflationary pressures and one-off tax payments also hit margins. While lower than last year's record-breaking $21.4 billion profit, the result was still better than 9 of the previous 10 full-year profits. And just before they're leaving the local resource sector, Canadian giant Brookfield and US private equity group firm EIG has cut its bid for Origin Energy from $9 a share to $8.90 a share. That's about 1%. A lower price bid sounds bad, but it could have been much worse, and that's why Origin's share price jumped 13% today. Story number 4, Australia's largest ASX-listed tech company, WiseTech Global, announced a 41% jump in profit. It's a quite achiever of the stock market, this one. It's a company that basically tracks things like parcels and is a great Australian success story. The bottom line was built on a big jump in revenue, in part thanks to signing up 4 big new contracts to provide tracking services. Its share price jumped 4% today, and it's the best performing top 25 company over the past year and one of the best on the ASX 200. And finally, story number 5, the big global story is the meeting between top officials from China and Russia. China's top diplomat Wang Yi said relations with Russia were solid as a rock, even as Beijing moves to portray itself as a neutral actor that can broker peace in Ukraine. In a meeting with the Russian Security Council Secretary, Huang said China sought to promote mutually beneficial cooperation in all areas as the two nations defend national interests. Huang's visit comes almost a year after Russian leader Vladimir Putin ordered a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, and according to Bloomberg, it shows that China has little intention of abandoning its staunch diplomatic partner. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 22nd of February, 2023. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. The top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.